What's up YouTube, it's Pixel Quest. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Today I've got something really special for you. Another video showcasing my entire Game Boy Advance game collection. Now, it might not be the massive, but each game in this collection holds a special place in my heart. I focus on the ones that truly mean something to me, the games that bring back those warm memories and take me back to my childhood. These are the games I would stare at every time I visited my favorite video game shop but could never afford back then. Eventually, I was finally able to purchase these games. Without further delay, let's dive into the list and take a look at these classics that shaped my gaming memories. And first in the list we have Pokemon Ruby version. So Pokemon Ruby version was released in 2002. The most prominent difference between the previous Pokemon games is we are getting double battles in this one. And the starters we get to choose are Trico, Torchic and Mudkip. I think Mudkip and Torchic being everyone's favorite. The game has 202 Pokemons in this, but I think you can obtain around 386 of total Pokemon, but that requires you to trade from Pokemon Red, Leaf Green, and Gale of Darkness, and Coliseum. So yeah, I mean, game actually has 386 Pokemon, but you need to trade to get. But anyhow, up to the next one. The next we have Zelda Minish Cap. Now, Zelda Minish Cap is an action adventure game and 12th entry in the franchise. Minish Cap serves as a prequel to Four Swords, the Four Sword adventure, telling the origin of the Four Sword and villain Vati. The protagonist Link acquires a magical talking cap named Eslo, who can shrink Link to the size of the Minish, and that's the main bread and butter of the game. Story as usual, it's pretty good. The main attraction in this game is the gameplay, and the pixel art is like one of the best I guess I've seen. I think there are a lot of new games that are trying to copy, or not copy, I would say, like they're trying to get inspiration from Zelda Minish Cap. So on to next one, we have Castlevania-Harmony of Dissonance. Now this game was released in 2002 in Japan and in North America 2002 September. This game was set 50 years after Simon Belmont vanquished Dracula's curse. Harmony of Dissonance focuses on his grandson Juice Belmont and his quest to rescue a kidnapped childhood friend, and I think I don't remember her name. Yeah, I don't remember her name at this point. But yeah, so that's the story, that's the basic story, and very good game. This game has received certain backlash, but it was all about the graphics of the game, but I would say it was more about the drawbacks of the Game Boy Advance not being backlit. So yeah, Castlevania Harmony of Dissonance, good game. Next in the line we have Castlevania Aria of Sorrow. Now, Aria of Sorrow is a 2003 action role-playing game developed by Konami. Aria of Sorrow is set in the future 2035 when Dracula has been sealed away after a battle in 1999, which is mentioned in the game as well. The plot follows the journey of Soma Cruz, the teenager granted occult powers as he battles dark figures that wish to inherit Dracula's power. Also, this game introduces something called Tactical Soul ability, which is this is the first game that has it. I think we also get Order of Ecclesia with something similar. But yeah, this is a very good game. I would say everyone to play it if they haven't. A very good story, also a twist. So I really love this game. I played this multiple times. Fun game. Next we have Castlevania Circle of the Moon. Circle of the Moon is not quite my favorite. Here you play as Nathan Graves as he attempts to rescue his mentor from the clutches of Dracula. The game is set in 1830s, I guess. Yes, 1830s. So the game starts with Camilla, a minion of the Dracula, revives Dracula, and then gets interrupted by the arrival of Morris, Nathan, and Hugh. Before they're able to banish Dracula again, Dracula destroys the floor underneath Nathan and Hugh, causing them to plummet down a long tunnel, and that's how the story goes. Next we have a very peculiar game called Boktai Sun is in Your Hands. Now as you can see, this game, the cartridge is pretty much yellowed, and there is no screw as well because the cartridge cover has gotten so brittle it might break any moment. The player takes the role of Django, a vampire hunter who uses a weapon called Gun del Sol, or also we can call it as solar gun, that fires bolts of sunlight at enemies. The game made novel use of the light sensor on the cartridge, which encouraged playing parts of the game in direct sunlight. So you actually need, like, a real sunlight source to vanquish Dracula in this game. Pretty neat concept, but it was had some issues with it. Also, sitting in the sun for a long time wouldn't be advisable for long, and even the game tells you not to do that. But then again, we get another Boktai game, and that's Boktai 2 Solar Boy, also known as Zoktai. I think that's the name in Japan, I believe. I'm not exactly sure, but that's what it's called, Zoktai. Now the game was released in 2004, and the sequel it's a sequel. The Boktai 2 gameplay is largely identical to the first one, consisting series of stealth and puzzle-oriented dungeons ending in boss battle against vampire with role-playing game elements. So yeah, that's Boktai 2 for you. As you can see, the solar sensor over here. As you're playing, the sunlight falls over here, and you can charge your Gun del Sol. Also, it changes how you play inside the house or when you're under the sun. So if you're inside a dungeon and the dungeon has a window, if you're under the sun, there'll be sun rays which will be falling, and you can charge your gun even when you're inside the dungeon. So pretty neat, a good game, but it didn't get that much, I think, praise for it. But I would say everyone to try this game out if you haven't, or at least watch the commercial for it. Boktai 2 or Boktai 1 commercial is pretty good. Next in the list, we have everyone's favorite, Metroid Fusion. Metroid Fusion is a 2002 action-adventure game, also developed and published by Nintendo. Yeah, it was developed by Nintendo Research and Development Team, which had previously worked on, yes, Super Metroid, which was released in 1994. The fusion takes place after the events of Metroid Other M and before Metroid Dread. So this is a sequel to Metroid Dread. I think everyone has played Metroid Dread. If not, do try it out. Not as good as the fusion, but it's good enough. I would say Metroid Fusion is still far superior to Metroid Dread. So yeah, next we have everyone's favorite, Wario in Warioland 4. Now, Warioland 4 is a very, it follows the same concept as Warioland 1 and 2 and 3. So just an action, not action, sorry, it's a platform game. A good one, and I think everyone should try this game out. The art is pretty good. The controls are very smooth. This is the best game. This is the best platform game to play on Game Boy. So yes, Mario Land 4. Next we have Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 was released in 2000s. Like, I don't know, I still think about this game. How did they fit in all that? Like, the game is as good as the one on PS1. It's not the same view, but the controls are pretty much similar. So I think the studio that worked on it is Neversoft, which is not anymore. That studio is not alive anymore. And yeah, I think Tony Hawk Pro Skater, yes, 2. I mean, everyone should play this game. It's pretty good, or at least add it to your collection. Next we have Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4 is also fantastic. I think it really got very good review from IGN back then. I used to watch 10 Sports. We had 10 Sports back then, and I used to watch reviews of certain games, and I remember watching review for Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4. And this game was released in 2002, developed by the same studio called Neversoft. and published by Activision. Yeah, that's about it, I guess. It plays the same as any of your Tony Hawk Pro Skater games, which are on PlayStation 1 and 2. Yeah, I mean, try it out. It's fun. It's a portable Tony Hawk game. I don't think there's anything to dislike this one. So yeah, Tony Hawk Pro Skater, add it to your collection. So next we have Dave Mirra Freestyle BMX. Dave Mirra Freestyle BMX is very similar to Tony Hawk Pro Skater games, and it was released in 2001. I went blindly into this game. I didn't know much about it, and it was pretty like a steal. It was pretty cheap steal deal. I got it for less than $5, I guess. This game was also released on PlayStation 2, GameCube. So yeah, Dave Mirra. Also, Dave Mirra is no more. So yeah, rest in peace. Good game though. Everyone should try it out. Next we have Dragon Ball Z: The Legacy of Goku. Dragon Ball Z: Legacy of Goku it's a role-playing game released in, I'm not exactly sure, I think it was 2000, 2002, I guess. So the game covers the story of Dragon Ball Z up until the destruction of planet Namek, where Goku is the only playable character in this game. And yeah, so it follows the Frieza saga, the entire Frieza saga. Pretty good game. Just has certain drawbacks with I think people complain a lot about the snakes in this game. They're difficult to hit, so yeah, that's about it. But pretty good game. I think the entire franchise, Dragon Ball Z, Legacy of Goku 1, 2, and Boo's Fury. It's a must game for every Dragon Ball Z fan. Especially Legacy of Goku 2 and Boo's Fury. You need to play that. They improved, like they listened to the fans and they improved the game 10 times. This was just a first one in the series, and they were just maybe trying out how the game goes. The game failed, but they still prefer to develop those Legacy of Goku 2 and Boo's Fury, which went really hit. So yeah, I need to add those two games in my collection. Next we have SpongeBob SquarePants Revenge of the Flying Dutchman. This game is, I don't know, I was just looking around, and again I picked this game for really cheap, so I didn't think much. I was like, okay, why not, and I picked it up. Next we have Harry Potter and Goblet of Fire. Now this game is released in 2005, action adventure game, and is based on the film. It follows very closely to the movie. So yeah, that's about it. I think everyone knows about Harry Potter and Harry Potter games. Do have a look. They are pretty. These games are pretty cheap at this point. You can get it for like what, $2-3 something like that, $2-3 something like that. And next we have Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers. Lord of the Rings: Two Towers is a 2002 hack and slash game developed by Stormfront Studios. I think it was released for PlayStation 2 and Xbox as well. And we got another version of game on 2D version on the Game Boy Advance. This game is hack and slash, top down. The game features levels taken either directly from the scenes in the Fellowship of the Ring and the Two Towers films, or based closely on elements from the films. I haven't played this game a lot. Basically, I think I just checked it out how it looks, and it's very similar to the camera is in top down, and it's very pixely. Not a great game to look at. So I don't know. Even for a Game Boy Advance level, it's a very poor looking game, I would say. Not a good one. Also plays very clunky. I didn't like it, but I just added it to my collection just for the sake. Even this game was pretty cheap. Yeah. So that's it, guys. That's all my collection, and hope you like it. If you had fun, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and I'll see you around in the next one.